Hey, real talk though, look. And I think something that a lot of people don't understand is that even though we might be battling a bad economy and everything, and I know inflation and eggs is hella expensive and all that, but check this out though. At some point, we still got to realize that complaining about it ain't necessarily going to change nothing, man. Like, obviously, we have an election and we do all that and we go vote or whatever, but once that vote is done, man, whoever is in office, they is in office. You feel me? And so I do think it ain't nothing wrong with being mad about how the country is being ran and all that. It's like, I think, you know what I'm saying, the best thing that we could do is look at ourselves and look at, okay, what can I do in this situation to make things better for myself? You feel me? So look, it's like, it's a few things that, you know what I'm saying, you could do. It might not necessarily make the biggest difference in the world, but sometimes even just, the smallest thing go the longest ways, you feel me? So check this out. The first thing that you could do is just try to start finding little ways to stop spending unnecessary money that you don't have to spend, you feel me? For example, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say you got food in the house. You know what I'm saying? You just went to the grocery store. You got food you can eat, but you just don't want to eat that or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? You on DoorDash. You see what I'm saying? And you constantly ordering all these extra DoorDash fees. And you know them DoorDash fees, they be taxing. Your food might be $15, but you might pay like $32, $33 once they add the fees, the delivery, the tips and all that. So, boom, let's just say you do that 5 times a month. What is that? That's like, I don't even know. What's that, like $75? You know what I'm saying? What if you had that extra $75 in your pocket? So sometimes you can just stop doing little stuff like that. Now, look, we all have days where you might not feel like cooking. Sometimes you might just had a long day. You might have had a rough day. You might be stressed out. You ain't got the energy. So sometimes, hey, DoorDash can be cool, or even if you go pick the food up or whatever. All right, you spend that little bread, but like, just limit the amount of times you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And just cook at home. You know what I'm saying? That little bit of piece of that little extra money in your bread could be used the next time you got to fill your gas tank. You feel me? Hey, look, real talk though. The next thing you could do is start working on that resume. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, look, I understand the job market is not easy, but I do think that if you're in a situation where you feel like your job is underpaying you and another company will value your skills a lot more, then you know what I'm saying, hey, it might be worth, putting your name out there, start putting out some applications and see if you can find you another job. Like, a lot of people, you might feel this little sense of loyalty to your job or whatever, but how loyal are they going to be to you? You know what I'm saying? They're going to penny pinch you, they're going to nickel and dime you, and then if they need to lay you off, boom, you out of there. No advance notice. You see what I'm saying? So, ain't nothing wrong with you trying to do what's best for your life. Now, with that being said, though, I do understand the job market ain't that easy. Like, you can't just go apply just because you apply to a job don't necessarily mean you're going to get it, right? So I understand that that's not necessarily the best solution for everybody. But what I will say is don't let that stop you from, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that stop you from applying to other jobs, though, because you never know. You just might get one. Even if it take 3 to 6 months. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You just keep on sending them applications out if you really feel like you ain't gonna be able to maintain a good lifestyle that you want to live with your current job, then hey, go and get that resume together and then start getting them applications going. You feel me? And real talk though, the best option, what I personally think is the best option, this is my favorite option, is go ahead and start you a little side hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's a million different side hustles in the world. I can't tell you which side hustle that you need to start because it depends on you. Some people will do anything as long as it make money. If you one of them people, then you can literally just do anything. Just Google side hustle ideas and start doing whatever you feel like you got the means to do. You know what I'm saying? But for most people, I would say it should be centered around something that you're interested in. You feel me? So like, what is something that you're interested in, right? Just think about that. Maybe you can write them down. Write down 5 to 10 different things that you're interested in. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And then just ask yourself, okay, how can I use this to make money, right? If you're interested in sports, you can start your little podcast, and then eventually you can get that monetized. You know what I'm saying? If you're interested in photography, offer to start taking people pictures. Now, this the big thing that you got to understand when you are starting a side hustle, right? It is more of a long-term investment in yourself. It might not necessarily start making you money immediately unless you selling something, right? If you selling an actual product or an actual service, then okay, you get the money instantly. But for the most part, you might have to build your skills up over time. You might have to take time to, build you a audience, right? Or build you like a base of people that know who you are, that's willing to buy from you. So that's a more long-term investment. But the thing about that is, though, eventually that can become the main job. You see what I'm saying? So it's like in that instance, you will basically just be taking the L as far as your immediate life is concerned, and you basically telling yourself, okay, look, I'm gonna stick it out with this little job or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna, take what we can get right now. But on the side, I'm finna be working on my own thing though. I'm finna be building this, and then you just stay true to that, right? That's the importance of picking something that you're interested in, because then you can keep doing it when you ain't getting no bread. You see what I'm saying? Eventually though, look, you're gonna be making good money from that, and then you're gonna lay the job off instead of them laying you off, and then you become unlayoffable. You see what I'm saying? So hey, that's just three ideas I got on how you could bring in more income, during a bad economy. So, hey, if you like this video, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because all I'm trying to do is just help you be the best version of yourself. And then if you like this video, and I'll holler at y'all next time, man. Peace.